Some influencers are sharing unverified information and in some cases even cooking up stories that can destroy other candidates' chances at the elections. On today's episode of The Proof, powered by Africa Check, I'll be looking at how a Twitter influencer compared the promises supposedly made by the three presidential frontrunners to northern Nigerians ahead of the 2023 elections. Welcome to The Proof. My name remains the same. I'm Joe Hansen. Welcome back. The governing All Progressives Congress, APC, hopes to retain power. Having been re-elected in 2019, it is strongly challenged by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which it toppled in 2015, and the Labour Party. It is against this background that Adamu Garba, a leading voice on social media for the APC, tweeted a list of what he claimed the presidential candidates of the three parties had promised the country's north. The region is considered the largest voting bloc with 50.16 million voters, more than half of 93.4 million Nigerians registered to vote in the 25th February elections. The North has also been instrumental to the APC's two presidential victories. Now, Garba claimed Tinubu's promise to the North, Mambila hydropower, Lake Chad, AKK pipeline, commercialized agriculture, reform of Al-Majiri system, and so on. Atiku's promise to the North to open the border, sell everything to outsiders. Peter Obi's promise to the North as well, he quoted, more spare parts shops. Vote wisely. Well, Garba, an entrepreneur and a former presidential aspirant, is part of a campaign group backing Tinubu. He is from the North as well. Anyway, Owolokwi, Africa Check researcher and community manager, joins me now. Let's take a look at this. Give me some numbers to Garba's tweet and let's get into the claims he made.
Thank you very much, Joe. Adamu Garba has, more than 94,000 followers on Twitter, and the tweet, we considered as has been viewed over 111 times. Garba is an outspoken supporter of the ruling All Progressives Congress, and his tweets, generally cast the party's presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, in the most flattering light. It is true that Tinubu made promises to northern Nigeria, including finishing the Mambila hydropower project and commercializing agriculture. However, other candidates and the other leading candidates also made similar claims. But we find is that Garba's claim in this particular tweet about Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party and Peter Obi of the Labour Party, the promise attributed to them in this tweet to be misleading and incorrect.
What was the claim Garba attributed to Atiku Abubakar that was incorrect, and tell us how you arrived at your verdict?
So, Garba claimed that Atiku Abubakar wants to sell everything to outsiders, of a reference to the his plans to privatize dysfunctional companies and infrastructure in the country. Aka made this proposal when he ran in 2019, and he has continued to insist that public assets are better run by the private sector. This has been seized upon by Tinubu, who has often referred to him as Mr. Sell Everything or Mr. Privatize. Tinubu claims his rival wants to sell national assets to the highest bidder and his cronies and run off with the proceeds. But there is no evidence that Abubakar has promised to sell public assets to outsiders.
What other claims, by the way, did Garba make that you actually found to be incorrect?
Okay, Garba also said that Peter Obi promised the North that was going to bring more spare parts shops, but this is not correct. We haven't found any publicly available evidence that he ever made this promise. And looked at his manifesto and the speeches on the campaign trail. There's been nothing like that. We did speak to experts, clearly Yusufu Suaka, who is a professor of political science at the University of Abuja, told us that claim is completely false. He said that Obi has made some promises to the North, but definitely not to bring more spare parts to that part of the country.
Oh, well, what effect can such false narratives and misleading information influence have on people's decision-making for the coming elections as well?
Generally, misleading information could easily influence people's decision, and especially if there are sentiments and biases attached to it. Many influencers we have seen are in fact partisan, and they also have things that they stand to gain on whatever agenda they push online, and it is best for people to stay away from unverified information that will, mislead them going into this election. And it's also important that we take control and make decisions that we can individually stand by, rather than a decision based on information from others.
Thank you so much, Awol, for being here. When we come back, we'll take a look at the verdict.
Breaking down the details on your permanent voter's card. The VIN at the right side of your voter's card means voter identification number. The code on the left at the top of your photo is your delimitation. Here is the breakdown of the code numbers. The first number indicates your state. The second number indicates your local government. The third number indicates your registration area, that is, your ward. The fourth number indicates your polling unit. Other details on your voter's card are your biometrics data, such as your voting area, name, date of birth, occupation, address, and gender.
Welcome back. There is a bandwagon effect that has been reoccurring in the time leading up to Nigeria's general elections. Some of this could also be linked to the activities of influencers online. Most people can't make decisions on their own, but look to what they see or hear online. So it's best we all learn to filter the facts from unverified information before we head to the polls. Don't make a decision on any candidate based on hearsay. Make sure you also do your findings and verify before you take your stand. The decision of President, National Assembly member, Governor, State Houses of assembly members, and also not forgetting local government heads are decisions we will all be stuck with for 4 years. So make a decision you can stand by. If you're not sure about a claim you see on social media, or you need to know more about fact-checking, why don't you reach out to Africa Check, www.africacheck.org, or tweet at africacheck_NG. And also, do not forget to follow us on News Central. We are at News Central TV. And you can check our website. It's www.newscentral.africa. Until we come your way again next week for another wonderful episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe Hansen.